All of them are about the no TV, so this is what I can about commenting. I'll subscribe to the channel now. New update ministers appointee a be on vetting in parliament so nada. No nature say letter senka Oman Payana as the vice president of the Republic of Ghana is signed HSA ministers now are presenting for Ghanaians very highly approved HSA. You can say between which is the three ministers now. One thing by at forcing for financial minister and our energy sector John Jenapo in the other one and the doing chief of staff chief of staff now I know and what you say later what the buy ministers from yet my approval through Mahama secretary in a sign that letter HSA. Like I said, though, Mahama, you have the experience as a president before, until who say a vice president, and as a work, I shall sign that letter. Then I would come out secretary. So on Saint Amman go for one answer about this vetting because highly approved and as a letter we have. Sana go for a kick and I'm could this answer more in the although we ain't my vet will do but over star for the center. They say to me for appropriate way as a Mahama, as a being, as an experience, or not just I know by and calling certain mistakes, but to share some mistakes and then I'll also repeat. When with his sense and
he's the most critical person in this whole enterprise. Now, let me address some few concerns of the minority caucus on the notification of Parliament of the nominees. Before we openly examine the individual and their merits, we must address a procedural misstep that casts a shadow on the integrity of this process. As you may recall, the Secretary to the President purported to have been given the mandate by the President to sign a letter to us. May I refer us to Order 65.1 of our rules, which provides that communication from the President to the House shall be to the Speaker in writing, signed by the President, or in the absence of the President, by the Vice President, or by a minister authorized by the President. So where from this letter from the Secretary to Parliament. So ab initio, President Mahama's government has breached the standing orders of this House. He failed to write directly to Parliament. He got his secretary to write to us. And even so, that letter from the secretary let me read the letter in full. The letter is a letter that is not referenced. This is coming from Jubilee House. A letter that is not referenced, coming from Jubilee without any reference. And is addressed to Right Honorable Speaker, dated the 9th of January 2025. Nomination of ministers for parliamentary approval. In accordance with Article 78(1) of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, I hereby, on behalf of His Excellency John Mahama, submit for consideration and approval of Parliament the following nominees for appointment. So, paragraph 1 in itself has two major problems. When the President took an oath, he stated his name as John Dramani Mahama. He is not John Mahama. So the secretary got the name of the president wrong. Second, he says that he is doing so on behalf of His Excellency the President. He cannot. The letter should be properly constructed to state that he has been authorized. That is, if we decide to even waive award the 65-1. He cannot just get up and say he is writing on behalf of the president. He doesn't have that mandate to do so. Then the letter did not also comply with the usual salutations that accompany such letters. These are supposed to be very diplomatic letters, and there are standards. Perhaps because the secretary is yet to go to Jubilee House proper, we'll pardon him because these things is supposed to follow due process. And then he ends by saying attached are their curriculum vitae and supporting document for vetting. I trust that Parliament will expedite the approval process in accordance with constitutional requirements. That's it, and he signs. No, yours sincerely, yours faithfully. He only signs, and then instead of proceeding to say that the president takes this opportunity to extend to Right Honourable Speaker his assurances of the highest esteem or consideration, all these things are missing. And we wonder why he had to do such an informal thing. Then he copies the letter to Secretary to Cabinet. There's no Secretary to Cabinet. There's no Cabinet. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I will pardon him and expect that in future he does the thing right. Because this is the Secretary to Cabinet Office, Jubilee House, Accra. I don't know where the Secretary to President is getting this from. Unless he says that they've already formed the cabinet, without the knowledge of Parliament, and that they are engaging in some unconstitutionality, which Honorable Ato Forson will describe it as banana republic. We are not a banana republic. We are not a banana republic. So, Secretary to President, Parliament is not even aware of your appointment, because under normal circumstances, the President is supposed to even communicate to Parliament. It is part of the imperatives of governance that he communicate to Parliament. So that is issue one. Issue one. Issue two. And let me be very clear. The minority in Parliament stands ready to support the formation of government within reasonable time. It is the reason why we waived the right to get the public to have a long period of notice. And we did so on the floor of the House. We are ready to support government. However, the cooperation we are promising hinges on the President demonstrating the requisite fortitude and transparency. The leadership of this country cannot afford the luxury of ambiguity. We urge His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, to summon the courage to present the full slate of his ministerial nominees, because this nation deserves no less. As I said on the floor of Parliament last week, the thought approach to ministerial nominations is unacceptable. We are on break. Adjournment is up to 21st. Members are supposed to go to their constituencies, but we are ready to do the since on the 9th of January, when we had these three nominees being ferried to Parliament. The President has since not communicated anything. We wonder whether they are ready to govern. The election result was declared on the 8th of December, on the 9th of December. The President had the benefit of having his victory being communicated to the entire country on the 9th of December. we expected that within the 1 month after the declaration, he would put in place a team for this thought